Hello students, welcome to ShirtBack Academy. In our lesson today, we're going to be continuing in Module 4. Our lesson for today is Behaviors in Sprite Lab. We're going to begin our lesson from the code.org homepage. From the homepage, we're going to click on Learn in the top left corner. On the next page, we're going to click on Learn More in grades K to 5. We're going to scroll down and click on Course F. And in Course F, the lesson we're doing is Behaviors in Sprite Lab, lesson number 15. Once we're there, we're going to click on the number 1 and begin our lesson. We're going to begin our lesson with a multiple choice. Our instructions tell us to click the Edit button to see how the mystery behavior works. Study the code inside and then make a decision. Our answer choices are A, the sprite will spin, B, the sprite will shrink, C, the sprite will move, or D, the sprite will change colors. Let's go into our workspace. We're going to click on where it says Mystery Behavior. When we click on Mystery Behavior, we see our behavior box. Here in our behavior box, we have some code. The code inside says, with this sprite, it will change this sprite size by -1. What do you think will happen when the mystery behavior runs? What will happen to the sprite? I think the sprite is going to shrink. The mystery behavior had the size going -1. I think it's going to shrink. When we click Run, we see that the world does. Good job. Let's click on Continue and move on to Puzzle 2. Here in Puzzle 2, our instructions are telling us to fly the rocket to the stars. We need to change the behavior of the rocket so that it flies upwards. Let's go down to the workspace and see what our code is. We can see that our rocket ship needs to move up. When we look over here in our workspace, we see that we have our Sprite Begins command, and inside we have our rocket ship. When we click on Edit, we can see that inside we have a behavior. The behavior says that it will move this sprite 3 pixels north. North is the same as up. We're going to type in here what we want the behavior to do. The rocket will fly upwards when the program runs. It's a good practice to include short descriptions about our behaviors. We're going to go ahead and change the background as well. We're going to click Run, and we see the rocket moves up. Well done. Let's click on Continue and move on to Puzzle 3. Here in Puzzle 3, our instructions are asking us to have the rover outrun the robot. We need to edit the behavior of the rover sprite, he's the blue one on top, so that it goes faster than the robot. Over here in our workspace, we see our code. It tells us that our rover sprite will drive east. Let's click on the behavior. We can see in our behavior that the rover sprite will move east 10 pixels at a time. We're going to change this to 15. In our behavior, we're going to write a short description. Rover will go 15 pixels each rotation. Now let's click on the behavior for the robot. We can see here that the robot will move 4 pixels. We're going to change that to 7. So now you can see we've changed the behaviors for both the rover and the robot, and the rover should go faster because it has a larger pixel number. When we click Run, we saw that the rover won the race. That was pretty fast. Let's slow it down a little bit. I'm going to hit Reset, and now in my behavior, I'm going to change the rover from 15 to 4. And I'm going to change the robot from 7 to 2. Now when we hit run, we should be able to see the difference. And you can see our code worked great. Well done, everybody. Let's click on Continue and move on to Puzzle 4. Here in Puzzle 4, our instructions are telling us that we should use the This Sprite block instead of the Costume block. This will make it work for all sprites. We can see down here in our workspace we have a lot of code. We have 5 make new commands that create the stars we see in our play space. I'm going to click on the behavior for the big yellow star. In here we can see that it will rotate to the right by 1 degree. I'm going to change that to 10. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom, and I'm going to click on the second behavior. Now when we click Run, all the stars should move at the same speed. And they do. Great job. Let's click on Continue and move on to Puzzle 5. Here in Puzzle 5, it's asking us to make a prediction. Which way will the satellite move towards the galaxy? Will it be A, left, then down, B, diagonally, C, zigzag, or D, down and left? Down here in our workspace, we have some code. Our behavior says move south and west, and inside it says move 2 pixels south, move 2 pixels west. South is down and west is left. When we trace our path, I'm going to choose B. I think the satellite will move diagonally because it's going southwest. Let's click Run. And we can see that our satellite moves right to the galaxy. Good job. Let's click on Continue and move on to Puzzle 6. Here in Puzzle 6, it's telling us to write a new behavior for the astronaut so that it goes towards one of the 4 ships. I'm going to have the astronaut go to the UFO. You can pick whichever one you want. I'm going to choose the UFO. To get to the UFO, the astronaut must go right and down. Over here in our workspace, we're going to click on Behaviors. We're going to create a behavior. Now what we're going to do is we're going to give it a name. We're going to name our behavior UFO. Then we're going to type what we want it to do. Our behavior will fly the astronaut to the UFO. Now we have to code our behavior. Inside, we're going to go up to Actions, and we're going to bring down 2 move commands. Inside of each command, we're going to put a This Sprite, and we're going to set it to 3 pixels south. We're going to bring over our second move command, and we're going to set it with the same This Sprite, but this time it's going to be 3 pixels east, southeast. When we trace our path from the astronaut to the UFO, he must go southeast. When we click Run, nothing happens. What do we need to do? We need to bring over our behavior. We're going to click our UFO into the Sprite Begins command. Now you can see we've changed the behavior. We've created our new one. When we click Run, our astronaut should get to the UFO. And he does. Great job, everyone. Last puzzle, number 7. Here in Puzzle 7, you have a free play. This is an opportunity for you to build a program using the skills we've learned. Let's go through a couple of the command blocks we haven't used. Under World, we have a set background. we can set the background to a different kind of landscape. City, desert, we can change the colors. Try them out for yourself. We can also use our sprites. We can use the sprites to make new characters on the screen. You can see when we add new sprites, it fills up our screen. You can use behaviors, actions, and events. Try out all these features for yourself. You can always share activities to the different social media platforms and by copying and pasting the website. Great job, everybody! That will conclude this lesson. You did really well. You did a great job with behaviors in Sprite Lab. If you have any questions about any of the puzzles in this lesson, please find the appropriate timestamp in the video and re-watch that section. We thank you for following along to the video. We will see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.